And first of all, I'd like to thank all of you. 20,000 subscribers is more than I ever expected possible on YouTube. I mean, when I just started out, it was like, I wasn't even thinking about the number of subscribers I had. But now, I feel like I've become a part of something really big. I'd just like to thank you all, my subscribers. And as I promised, I'm going to be working on a video of tips for people who want to get into countdown making. And, yeah, basically tips for how to do it and how to do it well. Now on to my first main piece of interesting news that came out this week. Remember how so many people have said in the past that Nintendo is a kiddie platform? Yeah, try doing that now. I mean, for one thing, that was pretty much bunkus anyway, because considering that they've had games on their system such as No More Heroes and Mad World, and how at E3 last year, or was that the year before, yeah, they announced that they were going to be responsible for publishing Bayonetta 2. I mean, of course, being an M-rated game that has a lot of its draw based on sex appeal, and that the first one didn't sell so well, and that Sega wasn't originally going to publish it. If it weren't for Nintendo, the sequel would not have happened. So, yeah. And now, Nintendo's latest move in promoting Bayonetta 2 is, let me just say it's a little ballsy. They are teaming up with Playboy to promote the game. Apparently, Playboy's Miss October of last year is dressing up in Bayonetta's costume and doing some apparently relatively tasteful poses for the magazine. Now, I've seen some sides of the argument that either consider it desperate or juvenile, or consider it, on the other side, considering it like a rather obvious fit. Either way, I gotta hand it to Nintendo. They've got guts. It seems like they're really trying to shed the whole kiddie image and draw attention to more mature, at least mature rated titles. Which makes me wonder how they're going to be promoting Devil's Third, which seems like probably one of the darkest and grittiest I've seen Nintendo publish. Well, and that game's coming out next year, so... In other words, earlier this year, a friend of mine introduced me to Dungeon Fighter Online, which, after getting dumped by its initial publisher, was attempted to start it back up by its original developers, and had a relatively successful alpha period. And their page on Facebook recently got 30,000 likes, which, thanks to that, people who are selected to participate in the closed beta will be getting a mystery gift. And I recently learned that if they get 40,000 likes, they'll transform the closed beta into an open beta. That sounds like fun. For those of you who don't know, Dungeon Fighter Online is basically a game that combines beat-em-up elements with MMORPG elements. Yeah, the combat is similar to what you may find in games like TMNT, Turtles in Time, and combined with MMO skill elements. And other elements that are borrowed from MMORPGs such as World of Warcraft. Basically, set up parties, go on quests, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun, actually. And if that page on Facebook gets a lot of likes by the end of the year, we could be seeing the open beta, which is something I hope happens. Because I really don't know if I could be selected for a closed beta. It's probably only a select few, and I doubt I get noticed. So anyways, I already have a script written for how to make a countdown, and once I get that done, I'll be working on my November list, which is Top 10 Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate Boss Monsters. since Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate's coming out next year, and since Monster Hunter 3 was the game that introduced me to the series and I've fallen in love with it, I figured I might as well do a countdown about it. And that also got quite a bit of attention when I brought up as a possibility for October, though vampires went out for that, obviously. Happy Halloween, by the way. But with the game coming out, and to hopefully build some hype and hopefully introduce new people to the series, that's the countdown I'm going to be doing next. Top 10 Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate Boss Monsters. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done this month, since I pretty much have plenty of material that I can use for how to make a countdown. So look forward to that. Anyways, on to user questions. Just a reminder, if you want to send me a question, go to my channel, click the About tab, click Send Message, and that's how you do it. First question comes from Death Alchemist, who asks, have you ever considered doing a countdown on Jojo's Bizarre Adventure? Thought has crossed my mind at one point or another, but here's the thing. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure was originally a manga series first, and gathering material for such a countdown would not be an easy task. At least gathering the kind of footage that it would take to do the topic justice. And another thing, anime footage seems to be more subject to copyright stuff than game footage is. That being said, it would be fun to do a countdown on it at some point or another, even if I just had to get JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle and take footage from there. However, I don't think that alone would do it justice. So the thought has crossed my mind, but don't hold your breath for it. Next question comes from Rovanami, who asks, what is your least favorite video game genre? At one point I might have said FPS, but games such as Team Fortress 2 and Borderlands have somewhat changed my mind on it. The thing with the problem with FPS is that it's the Call of Duty stigma. It's like, so many games, in the eyes of the untrained in the FPS genre, seem like they're trying to cash in on Call of Duty's success. This would be especially true for the Medal of Honor reboot. Ironically, Call of Duty was originally Activision's answer to the original Medal of Honor, from what I understand. But nowadays, I'd have to say it is the RTS genre. Or for that matter, the strategy RPG in general. I don't know, I've never seemed to be able to get into those. It's like, I like to get up close and personal. I'm more of an executing person than a planning person, to be honest. Yeah, I like to get my hands dirty when it comes to playing a game. It's like, I like to get up into the action and not command like a whole fleet of troops, stuff like that. I guess that's why I never could get into Fire Emblem for some reason. Though I would like to play Awakening at some point. Next question comes from Scar's Apprentice, who asks, what were your thoughts on the Bowser Jr. trailer? Well, considering, like, everyone who's played Smash for 3DS knew that Bowser Jr. was already in the game before the trailer came out, it kind of, like, lost the shock factor, but the CGI definitely made up for it. I mean, first off, it was the way Bowser Jr. seemed to be pwning everyone in sight. And it seemed to be surprisingly dark considering how kiddie Bowser Jr. is. And then we got to the part where the Koopalings were introduced. You could pretty much see the oh crap on Mario's face when it happened. It's like, you don't usually see Mario showing that much emotion, but when he does, you know it's serious business. Yeah, it's like, the Koopalings showed up and Mario was like, oh crap. And considering that there's 8-player Smash, you can finally decide which of the Koopalings is the best. Next question comes from Oh, it's from Omega Snake. Hi, Snake. How you doing? His question is, what was your favorite aspect of Dungeon Fighter Online Alpha a few months back? Funny you should bring that up. I have to say, my favorite part of the alpha was just the gameplay in general. I mean, the fact that you're pretty much playing the MMO version of an old-school beat-em-up, which I appreciate. I mean, games like Turtles in Time and the X-Men Arcade, those were a lot of fun back in the day. I can definitely I can definitely appreciate a game that takes all that stuff into account, and that's why I'm hoping that the closed beta becomes an open beta so we can get on the action earlier. Final question comes from Xenoblader911, who asks, if all different Mega Mans were to fight each other, who do you think would win? I have no clue. But it would be awesome!